Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of Everything Grows. I'm your host Faith Marie, but you probably knew that already. Today's episode is going to be a little all over the place, and that's intentional because I want to be transparent and talk with you guys about a struggle I've been dealing with for quite some time now. And it became a bit of an issue in the past couple of weeks. And I think this would be a very encouraging episode for anyone that's listening or watching, just because we all go through it at certain points. We all feel a little inferior. We all have a bit of low self-esteem when it comes to any new change in life. And we can be so extremely happy about this change. And then there's all these issues that come with it because there's all these negative thoughts that come into your mind and cause you to believe that you aren't good enough, and you are so good enough. You always were and you always will be. But let's get into the episode. For those of you who may have not caught on yet, I'm 25 years old. I'm a Christian. I'm not a perfect Christian, nor should any Christian proclaim to be perfect. There's a lot of things that I deal with, and I come off many times as a goody two-shoes with this big heart who's wise beyond her years. I'm talking like, and this is what people have told me, by the way, but someone that comes off wise beyond their years and yet is so mysterious, so quiet. And many times that's just because there's a lot going on in here. I'm thinking about, okay, first impressions are like super duper important, but how am I actually coming off? So when I'm meeting someone for the first time, I'm thinking to myself, well, am I coming off the way a normal person would? Did I make eye contact? How did my voice sound? How did all of that sound? It all plays a part in my ability to communicate effectively. And at moments where my anxiety is heightened, I tend to stutter as well. I do have a stutter, in case you guys don't know that either. I mean, you probably picked up on it. It mostly just happens when I'm a little scatterbrained. And lately I've been a bit scatterbrained just because I've been a little on a tired side, trying to adjust to this new chapter, which has been great. I'm super grateful for it. But it's a challenge for me. And I'm taking it on. I'm beating its butt. And I'm thankful to God for it. I'm thankful to God for this opportunity. Thank you, Jesus, for this opportunity. Because this is what I've been needing for a very long time in my life. And I would encourage any one of you to embrace the uncertainty, because the uncertainty is what leads you to the destination. When you're on a road trip, you don't really know what's going to be on the road. Like, you could be driving across country and you're not sure of what's to come. You just know this is how you get to the destination, but you don't know what types of stops you have to make, or if your car will stop, or if there's something in the road, a bump in the road, something that could cause your tire to become flat, anything. But that's really how life is. And sometimes we forget that though it is a journey, it's also not a perfect path. It's not linear. We are going to have situations in our lives where it's going to be a bit of a challenge for us. It's the best challenge. My encouragement to you guys is to track your progress with anything that you do. It'll give you a little less anxiety for sure, because it'll just show you that you're actually learning. Like, you are growing right now in this season of your life. So don't think for a second that you're not capable of doing great things, because you are. There's many things that I'm starting to tell myself every day, but this has to be one of the most important lessons for me. Anything that you are given in this life, you are given it not as a punishment, but as something that can teach you a lot about yourself. There are certain qualities that we have, and life has this way of just revealing it to us in time. We'll look back one day and realize we were meant to go through this situation. We were meant to meet this person. We were meant to go through a period of change, of transitioning, in order to have a better understanding of life. Everything comes with a lesson. So be willing to learn from your mistakes, as I am every single day. So for those of you who haven't seen this is me at, I think I was like 7 or 8. But this is little Faith. She looks a little bothered right now. Yes, she was. It was hot that day, by the way. She used to be afraid. There are certain fears that she's overcome, and she'll overcome you even more. But I have this picture sitting on this bulletin board over here because everything that she's gone through, she was meant to go through. That small version of you that you forget to think about at times, hold on to them and just remember that this is probably the most authentic version of you out there. So be willing to look at older pictures of yourself with grace, because you're going to go through a lot in life. You need to be reminded of how far you've come, of how much you've grown. And this is why I have this up on the bulletin board, for that reason. I'm really proud of how I've grown up. I wouldn't have ever imagined I'd be in this situation. I mean, I'm from New Orleans, y'all. Hurricane Katrina brought me here. Who would have thought this would be my life? I thought I would be in New Orleans right now. I have no idea what my dreams would have been. I'm so happy to be in the spot I'm at in life right now. There was always a plan. God knew from the moment I came into this world that this is where I'd be, and he ordered my steps, and he's ordering your steps, and he wants you to trust him and seek him. I am a Christian. I've grew up in church, and there was a lot of things that I had to overcome within myself. I had to pray about it, and I had to seek God for guidance, and I've overcome most of it for the most part. But being that I'm on this new journey with Jesus, it is causing me to have to leave a lot of things behind. It's not easy for me to say no. It's not. But I'm learning how to have grace for myself and grace for others as well, because I know that some may not understand why I have to say no the way I do. But it's for a reason. It's for my anxiety, but it's also for this new version of myself that I'm becoming. And another thing that I wanted to let you guys know is that anyone you have an encounter with, you can always learn something from them. And there are certain people in your life who are going to have an expiration date. So people are in your life for a season. It could be a super, super, super long season, but nonetheless, they are there, and they're there to teach you something about yourself and about life. They teach you how to love. Their actions can probably reflect something in you that you failed to work on yourself. But that's one thing that I'm coming to conclusion with. And that's not easy either, because moving on, I feel so guilty for it. It's the best thing for us. It really is. Some people like this older version of you, and you have to be willing to continue the course, knowing that no one needs to hold you back from your destiny, from your purpose. And it doesn't have to be something that everyone understands, but they have to at least respect your decision to move on from that relationship. I always felt like this podcast was super lame, but you know, I post on social media, I post on there. I try to post inspirational content whenever I can. It has been a little more challenging to do those things, but I'm committing to it. I'm doing it, and I give myself time to rest, as I should. I can only be realistic about the content creation and know that I'm probably not going to perform at the highest amount of energy every single episode, but knowing that the message is still the same. With social media, there's just a lot of negativity going on online right now. I hate the gossip. I really don't like the gossip at all. I'm starting to outgrow that aspect of social media, wanting to be in the know about everything with this celebrity, with that celebrity. I really don't care. And when you really think about it, it's actually insane that our social media culture is surrounded around giving people the attention and giving celebs this attention and really giving the negativity this attention, especially the lies. All of that's actually really unfortunate when you think about it. So if I'm choosing to consume certain content, it has to be positive content. It has to be uplifting content. It has to be something that can make my heart smile and, you know, give me something to think about. It can be satisfying content, any sort of content that informs people about really anything. That's the sort of content that I want to look at, and I'm being very intentional with that. And I've said that before because it really does play a part in what's going on up here. And I want for you guys to really understand that is that you need to be careful with the content you're consuming because it can really have an effect on how you see yourself. When you look in the mirror every day, you don't want to base your personality on what the internet is saying. You want to continue to be yourself and take some time away to live a bit too as well. And just stay grounded. I love content creation. I love it a lot. But there was a point where I was becoming so obsessed with it that it became my whole personality. And I felt like I didn't know who Faith really was anymore. I had to take some time away to figure out who Faith was. And that's why I did the 6-month break between season 1 and season 2 of Everything Grows, because you need time to figure out more of yourself. You need that time to just be away from the world, to relax. When you come back, you're able to share more experiences with your audience. And that's something that I want to do. I want to continue inspiring people. I want to continue to uplift. And I just want to continue this course, whatever God has me on. I want to continue walking with him. That's how I know I'm at peace, is when I'm walking with him. I want his will for my life more than anything. So this episode was pretty short. I just wanted to get that out for you guys because I am going through a period of change and I need to make sure I'm taking care of myself. Like, that's the most important part. But thank you guys so much for listening to another episode of Everything Grows. I'm really happy that you guys are loving the episode so far. I think my previous episode, Random Things I'm Falling in Love With, that has to be my favorite. So please make sure that you check that out. But I love you guys. Thank you for listening. Please make sure to follow Everything Grows on Instagram at Everything Grows Podcast. I just want to leave you with this. Don't be too hard on yourself with anything. Like, don't take life too seriously to the point where you can't enjoy it. Embrace the mistakes, learn from them, and please love yourself and take care of yourself. That's most important. But always remember that everything grows in its own time. So take your time at life and everything will be just fine. Bye, everyone.